start with a Kona Universal Strong Streamer Hook and 1/0. Next, I'm going to tie in an 8 to 10 inch long strand of 0.45 millimeter beading wire. Now this is something you don't see me do every time with regular articulated flies, but I'm going to go ahead and double this over. Next, I'm going to cut a 7 to 8 inch piece of 1/4 inch body tubing. This is in pink. I'm going to remove this hook from the vise. And I'm going to thread the wire through the body tubing. Next, I'm going to take the point of the hook through the body tubing. And out of it. So you end up with this. Hook back in the vise. A little bit of super glue. Tie down the body tubing. Next, I'm going to tie in some ripple ice fiber in pink. And we want to tie this in using as much of the length as we possibly can. Now I'm going to tie in some ripple ice fiber and minnow mix. Next, I'm going to use an EP sparkle brush. This is UV white and 3 inch. Now I have a Kona 2/0 Big Game Hunter in the vise. At this point you have this part of the fly done. So we're going to add the hook to this end. We want to make sure we have plenty of wire hanging out the back so we can double it over at least a little bit to help keep that strength. Again, this is meant for Barracuda. Works for Pike, guaranteed. But we just want a good, super strong strength right here. Hit it with some super glue. Take our thread back to the back of the hook. Thread the body tubing about halfway onto the hook. Wrap down the wire. We're not worried about the body tubing yet. So at this point, the wire is totally secure, totally good to go. We've laid it on there, we've doubled it over, great. So now I'm going to wrap down the body tubing. We're not going to worry about cutting this extra body tubing off because that's actually going to help our tail flare. So that works out pretty well. Now we're going to add a pretty generous clump of ripple ice fiber and minnow mix right on top of the thread here. Okay, I'm not going to secure this down. I want it to kind of go around the hook just a little bit, so I'm going to help it. And then now I'm going to secure it down and bind it. And we're going to do the same to the underside of the hook. To wrap up the back hook, I obviously can't whip finish this. like I really need to, because I have the whole front of the fly on the beginning of this. So all I'm going to do is put some super glue gel on my thread, and a dab on top, and then use really tight wraps to finish this off. Now we're going to cut this tail clean behind the hook bend. So right now you have a perfectly capable Barracuda and pike fly, but we're going to take it to another level. So we've added a 28mm articulated big game shank to the front of this fly. Now we're going to use another EP sparkle brush. At this point, I'm going to flatten my thread out by spinning the bobbin. I want a pretty smooth nose. Now I'm going to add 8.5mm Surface Seducer Dragon Eyes. These are Arctic colored. And I want these eyes attached halfway on the body material and halfway on the nose. For the next step, I'm going to add a layer of Loon UV resin in hot pink. Now to fill this gap between the eyes, I'm going to use Loon UV Thick. Now I'm going to coat the whole thing, the eyes included, with Loon UV Thin.